Yesterday, Donald Trump had his first interview since the presidential election, and the man supposedly elected to lower the cost of eggs seemed to be focused on anything but that. Like we told everyone, Donald Trump was never going to address inflation, bring down the cost of everyday goods. He wasn't going to help you with your groceries. Donald Trump was focused on Donald Trump, and Donald Trump is still focused on his enemies list. And it was the one thing he seemed to really want to talk about in his interview with Kristen Welker. Because when Kristen Welker brought up the names Adam Schiff, Jack Smith, and especially Liz Cheney, Donald Trump lost his mind. In a meltdown that we are going to check out, but in a meltdown that led Liz Cheney to respond. And a knockout blow to Donald Trump that I can't wait to get into. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already, to hit that subscribe button. It really goes a long way, and it means the world to me. Now, like I said, Donald Trump went off in this crazy meltdown, and Liz Cheney responded. So before we get to what Cheney said, let's listen to some of that interview between Trump and Kristen Welker.
Let me ask you about some of this new reporting. NBC News is reporting that President Biden is considering giving preemptive pardons to the likes of Liz Cheney, Adam Schiff, and Anthony Fauci. If President Biden doesn't issue those pardons, do you think they are going to wish that he had? Are they going to be pursued?
I can tell you this about Cheney, and she's a so-called Republican. I think she hurt the Democrats terribly. When I saw that Kamala put Cheney out on the campaign trail, I said, that's the end of Kamala. I really did. I thought it was a terrible move, especially if you're a Democrat. But Cheney did something that's inexcusable, along with Thompson and the people on the Unselect Committee of political thugs and, creeps. So the Unselect Committee went through a year and a half of testimony. Wait. They deleted and destroyed all evidence of that they found. You know why? Because Nancy Pelosi was guilty. Nancy Pelosi turned down 10,000 troops. You wouldn't have had a J6 because other people were guilty. The people that said that I attacked 2 Secret Service agents in a car. I grabbed one around the neck. I was then rebuffed, and I grabbed the other one. These are 2 of the toughest men anywhere on the planet. They happen to be slightly younger than me, maybe, just a little bit. Let me just tell you. They testified. They said it was total. And all of this stuff came out. People lied so badly. Now, listen, this was a committee, a big deal. They lied. And what did they do? They deleted and destroyed a whole year and a half worth of testimony. Do you know that I think those people committed a major crime.
Sir?
And Cheney was behind it. And so was Benny Thompson and everybody on that committee. For what they did, honestly, they should go to jail.
So you think Liz Cheney should go to jail?
For what they did.
Everyone on the committee, you think
I think everybody anybody that voted in favor.
Are you going to direct your FBI director and your attorney general to send them to jail?
No, not at all. I think that they'll have to look at that, but I'm not going to. I'm going to focus on drill, baby, drill.
When you say that, it carries weight, though. You've tapped these people to lead the Justice Department and FBI.
They can do whatever they want.
Okay.
Biden can give him a pardon if he wants to, and maybe he should. Just remember, Unselect Committee, a year and a half of sworn testimony, and after getting all of the testimony, they deleted it. Wait. And they destroyed almost everything. There's nothing left. It's unprecedented.
And they deny doing that.
If you do that in a civil case, you go to jail.
They deny doing that. And officials say that the order never came in for the National Guard.
A statement.
On January 6th, let me ask you this about January 6th. I think
Benny
you're going to want to
Thompson
answer
wrote
this.
in a statement that he has destroyed all evidence.
Let me ask you this about January 6th.
I wish you could be you have such potential. If you could be just non-biased, you hurt yourself so badly. I'm telling you, they deleted and destroyed all the evidence. Everyone knows it. And you slough it off like it doesn't mean anything.
No, I'm just saying they deny it. That's all I'm saying.
Kristen,
I don't know how anyone who paid attention in this election thought Donald Trump was focused on them. A man clearly so constantly consumed with his own grievance that all he can talk about is wanting to jail his political opponents. And for all the talk that Donald Trump does about wanting to jail Liz Cheney or Adam Schiff, he never says for what. Donald Trump, a convicted felon himself, I'm sure would understand that there are actual statutes and laws you have to violate to be a criminal, very, very specific laws, and Donald Trump has never brought up any of those. He just thinks it should be illegal to oppose him, which is ridiculous. One of the many, many, many reasons why he should never have been elected president again, or the first time. But this is the situation we're in, and it's a situation that Liz Cheney, like I said, responded to, and a brutal takedown that I want to check out right here. Cheney responds to Trump's jail threat. Here's the truth. Former Representative Liz Cheney responded to President-elect Donald Trump's threat that he would throw members who sat on the House committee that investigated rioting at the U.S. Capitol on January 6th in jail, calling his remarks an assault on the rule of law. Here's the truth. Donald Trump attempted to overturn the 2020 presidential election and seize power, Cheney said in a statement provided to The Hill. He mobilized an angry mob and sent them to the United States Capitol, where they attacked police officers, invaded the building, and halted the official counting of electoral votes. Trump watched on television as police officers were brutally beaten and the Capitol was assaulted, refusing for hours to tell the mob to leave, Cheney said. This was the worst breach of our Constitution by any president in our nation's history. Donald Trump's suggestion that members of Congress who later investigated his illegal and unconstitutional actions should be jailed is a continuation of his assault on the rule of law and the foundations of our republic. Former Representative Adam Kinzinger, another staunch Trump critic, didn't seem so worried about Trump's threat. In an interview Sunday, he said he was absolutely no worries about being jailed by the president-elect. First off, the executive branch can't go after the legislative branch because we embarrassed him. It's not a sin. It's not against the law, Kinzinger said, later adding, so look, he's all butthurt right now because we embarrassed him. He's not going to come after us, and I'm not worried about it at all. President Biden is reportedly considering handing out preemptive pardons to some of Trump's critics, including Senator-elect Adam Schiff, another January 6th committee member. I love the confidence from Adam Kinzinger, and I love and appreciate, and I think it's very important that we elevate the clapback from Liz Cheney. Liz Cheney has also been saying recently to Donald Trump, bring it on, which I love. I love that. I love that Liz Cheney, someone who does have the resources to fight back against any political attacks that Donald Trump could wage against her with the Justice Department or the FBI. There's a lot of people who helped investigate Donald Trump, who helped try to hold him accountable, who do not have the resources of a Liz Cheney. So I like the idea of her not backing down because, like I said, Donald Trump doesn't have a crime to bring against Liz Cheney with regards to her investigation of his criminality and his attacks on our democracy. There's no statute that he can point to that Liz Cheney broke by holding committee hearings on his attacks on our Capitol. So yeah, bring it on. Try to make the case of what Liz Cheney did wrong when talking about your own criminality. Now, like I said, Liz Cheney is in a position to do this, but others not so much. And that's why I think it is important for President Biden to step in and make sure he is providing preemptive pardons to those who need it, so they cannot be attacked, they cannot be investigated, they can't be prosecuted by an insane Trump administration, a Kash Patel, a Pam Bondi. Absolutely. But we also need to be setting up resources for those who don't have, as much money per se or legal support to rely on as maybe a Liz Cheney would, or an Adam Schiff, or a Jack Smith for that matter. People who were working alongside those individuals, but maybe don't have the public persona that would bring about as much support in the fight back against Donald Trump. And that certainly will be a fight that will have to go down because there are already some Republicans trying to defend this nonsense from Donald Trump. And anyone hearing it shouldn't be having it. And that's exactly what we saw from Jim Acosta, who shut down a Trump stooge who was trying to defend this nonsense in a clip right here.
Idea that our government has been weaponized, particularly against him, the idea that there may be a double standard in our justice system. And I think you see that frustration coming out in him. But I would also look to what he said is, look, will there be...
More than frustration. He's talking about people sending members of Congress to jail.
Will there be questions? Will there be reviews? That happens with every incoming administration that looks back at what happened in the previous administration. And remember, there's only been one Justice Department that's gone after somebody, and it's this current one after him.
But he did try to overthrow an election. He did hide classified documents at Mar-a-Lago, wouldn't give them back.
Joe Biden had classified documents in his house.
But Lance, not to borrow a line from ESPN, but come on, man. Seriously.
If you're experienced,
this is nuts. We should just say this is like this is nuts.
It is crazy to me that anyone thinks that Donald Trump saying, oh no, I don't necessarily think that I'll go after them, but they should be in jail, isn't just a permission structure to the MAGA lunatics like Kash Patel or Pam Bondi and his administration to go after Donald Trump's enemies. He's not telling them no. Just because he's not explicitly writing it out doesn't mean it's not what he wants. The defense is nonsensical. And again, there are people who are a part of these teams trying to hold Donald Trump accountable who do not have the resources. And when they are politically persecuted, we have to be ready to respond. And like I said, preemptive pardons for someone like a Liz Cheney and Adam Schiff, if they want it, because I understand that there is some concern with Liz Cheney or Adam Schiff getting pardoned for crimes they did not commit, it looking weird. So maybe they don't want that. But I do think that it needs to be a part of this messaging as we approach, the Trump administration, to talk about how this presidency is about vengeance and nothing else. It's not about eggs or inflation or gas prices or energy. It's not about that. It's about vengeance. It's about Trump. It's about his anger. And that doesn't get us anywhere. And that's a cohesive message about not only the corruption that'll be present in Donald Trump's presidency once again, but the discombobulation, the complete focus on Donald Trump's own anger instead of you. And I think that's an important message that we can drive home. And it's what we're going to be talking about on this show every single day. And if you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button. You can leave a like on this video. And if you stuck around to the end, you drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you soon.